welcome to the stream. My name is Moy Mythical. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. We're gonna wait a little bit just to see who jumps in and all that good stuff. If you're wondering where you guys can watch all the lives, all the videos, so you guys can see what I'm seeing and the clips and all that stuff, there's a link on my bio. I'm live on TikTok. No, I'm live. Oh yeah, I'm live on TikTok, but I'm live on Twitch, YouTube, and Kick. Those are the main ones that I'm live on. So just wanted to, just hop on live. So when I do these, for the most part, what I do is, I'm just kind of hanging out with you guys. I'm just kind of like looking at videos, just having some fun. And typically what I do is I watch some videos, some cool video, give you guys my feedback. We could watch it together. You guys are watching it and all that good stuff. And then at the end, we just jump into some gameplay. For the most part right now, I'm playing Black Ops 3, zombies and all that good stuff. So if you're wondering, Moy, why aren't you playing Black Ops 2? Black Ops 2 is the more popular game right now. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I thought I downloaded Black Ops 2 and it was 3. Not that I can't tell my numbers, but I just downloaded the wrong one. But it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. But we still, I want to get it. I just hate the idea. It's like, oh God, I just bought 3. I don't want to jump on 2 just yet. And for the most part, it seems that the popularity of Black Ops 2 is really on PlayStation, where I am not playing on PlayStation. I'm playing on the PC, and I think they call it STEM or Steam. I don't really know, but that's how it's usually played right now. But what is up with everybody? We're just gonna wait a little bit. What are cool things that are happening right now? Super tech stuff. I love tech. I love just hearing just kind of like daily news on just tech activity. All that AI stuff is really big right now. AI is such a big thing. What do you guys think about AI? I love AI. I think it's so cool. Am I going to regret saying that? Is this going to transpire into something crazy and all that good stuff? Who knows? I don't know. I just know that AI is a big thing nowadays, and it can't go without being noticed or discussed. Like, dude, like back in the day, they always told you go to school, study, go to college and work on computers and all these other stuff. And now we're finding out that AI is replacing a lot of jobs. Like before, I used to, like, I have my own business, right? I used to really need an assistant to help me out with a lot of these roles, like to create invoicing and to create presentations and to create quotes. But now that AI is in the mix, it really takes care of that kind of stuff. It creates the presentations, the quotes. I could tell it, dude, minus me right here on the quote, but add the price right here, and then just kind of like sprinkle me in right here, and it would get all that stuff. It really understands it. So dude, AI is just like it's crazy. Like when I was thinking about the whole AI stuff, or when I was thinking about the future, when I was a kid and I was thinking about what is the future gonna be like, are we gonna have flying cars and all that stuff? Obviously we're not there yet, right? But I never pictured AI. That's like a whole different thing. AI is so cool. I'm super big on AI. I love AI. You know what's really cool too is the Oculus, when you play the video games and all those stuff. I remember thinking that everybody thought that these were gonna be like some of the big stuff, like that was going to take over. Even Meta, like Facebook Meta, invested so much money because they were saying, they thought at first that Meta glasses, their like the whole Oculus, their metaverse, the metaverse was gonna be the way of the future. Because a lot of the times for the Oculus and the Meta glasses or the metaverse, at not specifically, but one of the main reasons they created it was because of the senior citizens and the older people and the people that couldn't kind of venture out. They said, hey, you know what, I know you're in your senior home, I know blah 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 and all that stuff. Put on these goggles and these glasses and you'll be transferred into the metaverse and you will be there. Like Ready Player One, I think that, have you guys seen the movie Ready Player One? They really wanted to kind of create that vibe for the um, Ready Player One. I think for the most part, and I think everyone can agree, if you guys are like, if you guys know tech, if you guys know what's up, for the most part, you know that hey, it's gonna go there. It's definitely gonna go there, like Ready Player One. I just think that the metaverse was too early. So that's my opinion on that. I think, dude, I'm trying to get rid of this little hair and it keeps popping out, dude. My edges, my edges, my edges. Okay, fuck, it's back. Okay, my edges. Okay, moving on. AI, metaverse, Ready Player One, chapter one. Okay, so one of the first videos that I wanted to watch today, and there's endless. When you do the stream, one of the things that you think about is like, am I gonna run out of ideas? And one of the really cool things and the helpful stuff is like platforms like YouTube, they they feed so much content that it's kind of like endless. It's endless content. You'll always have something to watch, something to react to, something to see. And if someone already saw a video, someone will react to that video, and then someone else will come in and they will react to that reaction video. So it becomes like a whole thing. So without further ado, I want to jump into our next video. Okay, so I see you, bad boy. I see you, Danny. I see you, bro. I see you, bro. I see you, bro. Hey, I see you, bro. I'm live on Instagram too. I'm live on Instagram too right now. I'm talking to my people right now, bro. I see you, bro. We gotta get a workout in, bro. What's up, Playboy? What's up, Playboy? I see you. I see you. One of my boys right here, super down to earth dude. This guy means business, bro. This guy means business, bro. Let's get a workout in. I know we talked about it, my boy. I know we talked about it, but let's get a workout in, bro. I know you're gonna get a workout in with each other. But yeah, so without further ado, guys, I want to jump into our first video of the day. And guys, if you guys are watching me on TikTok live or on Instagram, if you click the link on my bio, you guys will see the videos that I'm seeing. This is kind of like right here what we're doing right now. But without further ado, I want to jump into the first one. And the first one, I was looking at videos and I was like, dude, what am I going to talk about today? What is going to be the topic? What are we going to really get into? And one of the videos that I saw was about the 80s, and I was like, dude, that's so cool. I love the 80s. And it says, and the video is, in the 1980s, things that are not socially acceptable that were regular back then but that are not regular right now. So guys, that is the topic right now. It's the 80s, things that we did in the 80s that are frowned or that we will not do right now. What do you guys think? Like, first, like, before we really jump into it, what are things that we did in the 80s that we do not do right now? Like, what do we do? Like, what are things that we did in the 80s that we're not doing right now? Like, just think about it. I want to say drinking, but dude, everybody drinks, right? That's like my first thought. What else? What else? What did we do in the 80s that we're not really doing right now? I'm just trying to think right now. Like, think about your 80s movies. What were they doing a lot back then? Cry Like a Baby. Danny Benny, bro. I think smoking, perhaps smoking. They used to like really smoke before a lot. I remember I saw this video of this guy and he was smoking in the mall in the 80s. Obviously they're not smoking right now like in public places. But without further ado, guys, like I said, if you guys want to check out the links on my bio, you'll see all the videos that I'm looking at right now. So today's video is brought to you by, bro, how do you even pronounce that? Why would they make this name so difficult? Ready for History. I'm just gonna say Ready for History. If I'm wrong, you guys, I'm sorry about that. But Ready for History, 1980s, things that are not socially acceptable today. Now, what could that be, guys? What cannot be socially acceptable right now? Because we get soft, bro. It's such a soft, like, you got to be so careful with what you say. They have this whole thing called cancel culture, bro. Cancel culture. Oh, careful what you say. You want to be disrespectful because there's canceled culture, bro. Cancel culture was not a thing, bro. Now you got to be soft. Like, it's all soft. Now there's like, you know, I was going to say my boundaries. You know, my pronouns, your pronouns, bro. Your pronoun, bro. If you're a girl, I still say bro and dude. So I've never experienced those situations where they're like really hardcore, like no, I'm not a dude or a bro. If I see a girl, if we're talking, if she's cool people, I'll be like, dude, check it out. Like, bro, we still say that. And I still, like, if I'm texting with some of the clients and like a group of girls, I'll still say like, hey guys, what do you guys think? Because that's just normal. We just say that. And it's just, you know, I don't want to get into it. It's not that kind of channel, guys. It's not that kind of channel. Well, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, why don't we get into our video? Well, one of our videos of the day. Let's check it out, guys. Let me know, chat, if you guys think it's loud.
MTV was just catching on, and Atari was still very popular. We didn't have all the constant news in our face, but our social media was hanging out with friends and family.
That's right. That's right. No social media in the 80s. I didn't even think about that. And Pac-Man, dude, I remember just seeing that a lot of people just hanging out in arcade games, like arcade eras. That was really cool, bro. The arcade era. I kind of overlapped with the arcade era. I remember that I used to work at this warehouse when I was like 18, early 18s, like when I was like 17 and 18. We started busting it in downtown, and there was a whole arcade game area there, and that's not there anymore. I can't believe that's not a thing. Like, now you like there's a thing like Dave and Buster's and X Lanes, and they make it really complicated. But dude, what about the boys out there? You used to just go, you used to hang out at the arcade shop. That sounds like such an 80s things nowadays, but whatever. Let's keep watching, guys.
Used to do would probably get you arrested now.
Chat, let me know if the audio for YouTube is good, or is it too loud or low.
The regulations were more like mild suggestions rather than rules or laws. Nobody wore seatbelts, and Norma, dude, just wondered why they were even there.
Yo, Moy, hey, dude, hey, los tacos, Norma, los tacos.
Control the radio. If you wanted to see over the tall dash, then you could just simply stand up. Heck, Dad may have even placed you in his lap so you could help him steer the car. It was also common to see kids just packed in the back of a station wagon or maybe in the bed of a pickup truck.
Let's pick up the video a little bit.
Car seats were available for purchase, but rarely would you ever see one in a car. If your car was packed with kids,
that's so cool right there. See, they don't do, like, obviously it's a safety thing, but that's another thing that we did in the 80s that we probably don't do now. Kids sitting, like, just everyone in the back of the pickup truck or things like that. That's pretty cool. So the video of the day, guy, or the part one of this segment is things that we did in the 80s that we don't do right now. That's what's going on. That is the video right now. Things that we did in the 80s that are not socially acceptable right now. So obviously the first one that they're talking about is social media. The volume on the video is low. We can bump it up. Let's bump it up a little bit. Okay.
Here just to leave them in the car and then go into the grocery store and shop. Most people just left the windows rolled down and the kids would be just fine. Kids were very active, and it wasn't uncommon just to tell your parents you were going outside to play, and then you would disappear for most of the day, if not all of it.
Going outside and play. I can't believe I forgot about that. Going outside and play. And you would go in your bikes. That was another thing that was really active in the 80s. Is just going outside, hanging out in your bikes. Hanging out on the bikes. Hold on.
It was always easy to tell where all the neighborhood kids were just by glancing at someone's yard and seeing the collection of bicycles. If that wasn't seen, then most of the kids would knock on their friend's door to see if they were home and if they wanted to come out and play. If you went around riding bikes, then you certainly didn't wear a helmet.
You know what's another thing that we don't do nowadays, and that this era will never know what this was like? Hold on, let's go back to our live. Let's go back to our live. Let's go back to our live right here. So one thing that we don't do right now that we did before, and I had to do this multiple times. If you called like your friends back in the day didn't have a cell phone, like we didn't have no cell phones like that, like you could just text or whatever or FaceTime. You had to call your friend's house. And dude, anybody, you had no idea who was gonna answer. Dude, the dad can answer, the mom would. Every time I would call my friend's house and the mom would answer, there would always be like a quick 5 minute, and how's your mom doing? Okay. Okay, what did she cook today? What did you guys eat? I told her. Did she do the thing that did she put the pepper? She didn't do the peppers? I told her to do the peppers. And I remember a couple of times something like that happened, that I tried to call my friend to talk to my friend, and like a cooking situation happened where the mom was like, oh, did your mom, she's like, oh, is Ricardo home? And she's like, yeah, Ricardo's right there. And she's like, how's you guys doing? And we're like, oh, we're all good. And she's like, did your mom cook dinner tonight? Yeah, we cooked dinner. What did she cook? It's like, oh, this chicken whatever with the rice. Oh, did she put the peppers? And I was like, no, I don't think I saw peppers. It was just potatoes. And then my friend's mom was like, what? I told her to put the peppers, blah blah blah, and I don't know what. And then they were like, is your mom right there? I was like, yeah, she's right there. She's like, let me talk to your mom really quick. And then it's me calling my friend, turning into my friend's mom now, intercepting the call to talk to my mom. And then you would lose that call. You were trying to call your friend. And then at the end, they would hang up. And you'd be like, damn, mom. And you're like, no, it's too late to be on the phone. But every time I would call my friends, it would always be this brief conversation with whoever answered the phone first, whether it was the mom or the dad, who were like, hey, hello, how you doing? Here's our how's Richard doing at school? How's Steve at school? Well, he's good. Did you guys get homework? I know you guys have 2 classes together. Did you get homework? And you're like, fuck, I don't know what he said, because I for sure don't do homework. And I'm like, they'll be like, oh, your safe answer is no, like, no, I got no homework. And then they'll be like, oh, you didn't get homework? I'm gonna tell your dad. I'm gonna tell your dad, because Steve over here did homework. And you're like, fuck, man. So there was always these funny scenarios when you called your friend's house and the parents or the sister or someone intercepted that call before you try to talk to your friend. Like, talking to your friend was like an obstacle. But let's get right to the video, guys. Let's keep going.
People couldn't even see these in stores to buy, and if you could, they wouldn't have even wanted
guys
them.
If you're watching me
Same
on
thing with
TikTok
elbow
live
pads
or
and knee
Instagram
pads.
live, click my
Most
bio.
kids just thought it was cool to
the
show
link,
off
and
your
then
latest
this way
injury
you
or
guys can
skin
see
knee.
the videos that I'm
If
seeing.
you happen to be too far from home too late, then no problem. Find one of the payphones that were all over the place, and if you didn't have change, then that wasn't a problem either. Your parents knew when they got the collect call.
You have a collect call from.
I'm at the community center.
Do you accept charges?
Your mom and dad would just come and pick you up and load up the bikes if you had them. Otherwise, your parents just
Love you, Theo.
expected you to be home by the time the street lights came on. Smoking was still very big, and parents smoked in the home and in the car with
Cigarettes
kids
was
still
a
in
big
it.
thing.
Secondhand smoke was just something that everyone had to live with, and most people weren't worried about exposing it to kids.
They used to advertise smoking cigarettes as such a cool thing. They used to hold on. It's because I'm getting an Uber Eats right now. Please ring the bell. All right, just getting those because I got some food coming for my people. Okay, so yeah, they used to advertise that smoking cigarettes was really cool. I remember that my friends used to smoke cigarettes in the bathroom. My dad would always ask me about it. He'll be like, are your friends smoking? Do your friends smoke cigarettes? And I would always have to lie. And I'd be like, no, dad, they don't smoke. Meanwhile, I'm the friend that smokes. I'm the one offering the cigarettes. My friends don't smoke. I am the friend. I am the guy offering the cigarettes in the bathroom. Smoking in the boys' room. Guys, if you're watching me on TikTok or Instagram, click my live and you guys are going to be able to join my stream and you'll see the videos that I'm looking at. Hold on. Hold on, guys. I just got something coming right here. Okay. Please ring the bell. Okay, hold on here. Okay, 2 orders are coming. Hold on, chat. Hold on, chat. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's keep it going. Yeah, smoking
It
was
wasn't
really
uncommon
cool.
to see people just smoking away in restaurants, and most of them probably didn't even have smoking sections. Things were so different back then that there were cigarette machines in front of some stores and restaurants. No ID check or anything, just insert the quarters and pull the knob. It was also a time when kids would run to the convenience store and pick up some essentials. Sometimes those essentials were cigarettes, and all we needed was a note from mom or dad and a blank check.
You didn't get carded back in the day.
Considering how most
cigarettes.
people were about smoking, it's not surprising that alcohol would be much different. Alcohol wasn't something that kids enjoyed, but I'm sure many tasted it just to see what it was like when parents offered it. Being a latchkey kid was perfectly fine. Parents were busy working and doing other things, so it was quite common to see kids at home by themselves or watching younger siblings until they got home. Parents just thought if kids were old enough to dial the important numbers or 911, they were responsible enough to be at home alone. Physical punishment was also something that was viewed very
Physical
differently.
punishment, guys. Physical punishment. I do not want to get into it. I do not want to get into it. I do not want to get into the physical punishment aspect of the 80s or whatever. That was such a big thing back then. They used to beat the shit out of their kids. I don't know, my dad used to beat the shit out of me. Supposedly he did it out of love. I think I saw him smile. I know he smiled one time. Supposedly he did it out of love, guys. Supposedly he did it out of love. Hold on, one more order, and this is it, guys. I'm all yours. The orange bell. Okay. Here we go, guys. Here we go. Yeah, so they used to beat the shit out of their kids back in the day, guys. They used to beat the shit out of their kids back in the day. And that was like one of the main things that for sure is not happening nowadays. They are not whipping their kids. It's all about, you know, talking to your kid and whatever. I know I don't really ever really hit I've never hit I thought about it. Shit, I wanted to, but we don't. Obviously, we're a new era. We're hippies. We're hippies, people. We're hippies. We don't do that nowadays. But we are more calm. We are more calm now. But let's see what it keeps
Paddling
saying.
or swats from parents, family, or teachers was considered completely reasonable if the kids misbehaved or were disrespectful. Punishment was usually swift and painful. Peanut allergies certainly were around back then, but kids still brought peanut butter sandwiches and peanut products to school. Peanut and other allergy bans weren't a thing. EpiPens didn't hit the market until 1987, so if you had an allergy, you just had to hope you didn't die.
Peanut allergy, guys.
If you were a
really
teenager in
thing?
the 1980s, then you didn't have Instagram or Snapchat. Your social media was hanging out at the mall with your friends. You could
That
do a
sounds
little
a lot
shopping,
cooler, hanging out with your
and a
friends,
whole lot
on
of hanging
social
out.
media and all that stuff. Stop,
Parents would
you
allow
guys.
their kids
Stop.
to roam the mall by themselves for hours. Kids may still go to the mall today, but not quite as much. If they hang out there all day now, they might accuse you of loitering. Chickenpox parties were something that many people had long before there was a vaccine. Most people felt it was best just to get chickenpox out of the way so you wouldn't have to worry about it later.
Is chickenpox
If one
still
kid
a
started
thing?
showing
I
signs,
haven't
then it was
even
time to
heard of
gather
anybody
every
having
other kid who
chickenpox.
hadn't
There's all
gotten
these
it
other
for a
things.
good old-fashioned party. The PG-13 rating didn't exist until July 1st, 1984, and prior to that, they got away with a lot more. People realized that there was a huge gap between PG and R. If you take a look back at the movie Airplane, which was PG, you'll understand how wide this gap was. The movie was filled with a lot of adult humor in it, and it even showed some nudity.
That movie Airplane.
On August 10th, 1984, the action film Red Dawn starring Patrick Swayze and Charlie Sheen became the first ever PG-13 movie to be released in theaters. Over the last 40 years, there have been many changes,
The Breakfast
not
Club
just
was really
in technology,
cool. I really
but
liked
in
The Breakfast
regulations
Club.
on what we can and cannot do. Most of the younger generations do not realize how many changes have taken place during the 80s.
Man, you know
and
what? The prices, inflation has really changed ever since. So I remember one of my first like official jobs. So I used to always work. Dude, I worked since I was a kid. Like I can't even tell you, dude, I always worked. It was just a thing. Like if you were a boy, you just worked. That was the main thing that it was for my family. And then like, hold on, fix my hair. There you go. Dude, my dad would make me work all the time. I remember like if I'm just chilling on the weekend and then my dad would be on the phone with his friends and they'd be like, oh, what are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And it was like, oh, you know, it's because we have this project, we're doing construction. And they'll be like, oh, you're doing construction? You need help? Because Moy's off today. He doesn't have any school. And I'm just watching Saturday morning cartoons and they'll be like, yeah, he'll go. And I'll be like, what the fuck? What are you talking about? And then I would have to go help these people. And I remember, and I always tell my wife this and my son, like, dude, it'd be so funny because they'll make me carry these like huge cement bags, like heavy fucking cement bags as a fucking kid. I'm like in 6th grade or 7th grade, and they'll make me put these cement bags over my shoulder or try to carry it. And if I couldn't do it, I was called gay. And my dad's friends would say, oh, I didn't know you were gay. Does your dad know you're gay? Because you can't carry that 80-pound cement bag at your age. And supposedly everybody was like, at your age, I had already built a house. At your age, I already had 2 families. They would always say things like that. I'll be like, bro, what the fuck? I didn't even want to come here. I was watching Pokemon before you arrived. I didn't even get to see when they say, who's that Pokemon? Like, I had to dip.
have continued to do so.
Inflation is crazy.
I hope you enjoyed this little walk down memory lane. Thank you so much for watching.
There's still more in the video.
Why don't you come up here,
Let's see what they say. Let's see what they say.
Larry? Well, Vince, I've asked my pumpkin to sit on my lap to prove a point. And what is that, your Larryness? Even if we fasten our safety belts, even if you hold on tight, even if you were watching the road...
The dummies. Poor guys, they had to go through so much.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Use child safety seats.
We love that little pumpkin to pieces.
Okay, Joey, it's a wrap.
Hi, I'm Joey Lawrence if you need a break. After I'm done here, I get a ride home. But the thing is, I will only get into a car with someone who wears their seatbelt. You see, kids like me usually do what the driver does. If they don't buckle, we don't buckle. Sounds pretty dumb, huh? But it happens, just like accidents. Give a kid a break. Buckle up. Your life
Buckle up,
and theirs
people.
is in your
Buckle
hands.
up. Look at that, smoking, always smoking cigarettes. Damn, all those cigarettes for sale. They used to really have advertisement for cigarettes. Damn, she just blew up smoking through that girl's face.
When you walk in a room, nobody can stand the fumes. Ooh, dragon lady.
Alright, Damn, it's crazy. I don't think I've ever seen this commercial. I thought I've seen a lot of these commercials already. I have not seen this one.
Everybody's saying, you ain't got no class. Can't you see what you are? You're a drag.
That is crazy, guys. That is crazy. So that was our first video to just see what... Hold on. Is just to see what were socially acceptable things back in the day. We're just gonna get into the next lane. We're gonna jump into it to our next video. And in our next video, I thought it'd be really cool if we see some Korean street food after night. Now, I know for a lot of us, you know, if you're in LA, you're just anywhere for the most part, seeing like street vendor foods and all that stuff, sometimes those are those hidden gems. I know when I'm driving, you know, you see these guys. I know around my area, there's literally a guy that makes burgers. Like, that's fucking crazy. For the most part, if you're in LA, the big popular one is tacos. That's like what they really make a lot. They really make a lot of tacos. So that's like really fun. Like, everybody loves the tacos. But I think it would be so cool to explore Korean street food after dark. Like, what is the culture over there like? That would be so cool. I'm not even hungry right now, but to watch this, I know I'll get hungry. Like, I love watching steak be cooked and all that stuff. So without further ado, guys, why don't we just get right into it? The Korean street food after dark, the freaks come out at night video is brought to you by More Beast Ever Food Review Show. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to the gentleman, okay? So let's get right into it.
You will be experiencing Korean street food. Wow, look at that bite at night. I've come to Korea's second biggest city, Busan. This city is famous for being on the coast and having some of the freshest seafood in the country. But it's also famous for its own unique street food. Every night at 7:30 p.m., a parade of street food vendors take their carts into Bupyeong Market, and that is where we're going right now. Let's move. So we've come to a very typical street food stall here in South Korea. The first thing you'll notice when you come here is the steam rising off of this tank right here. This is odang. Odang is essentially like a fish sausage. I couldn't decide what to order, so I got a little bit of everything. Right here we have the pounded rice cakes, fish cakes, and all of it smothered in a red chili paste. That is some big tteokbokki. Usually they're much smaller and thinner. Let's try it out.
I've been thinking about you, boy.
It's so chewy. I swear to God, the flavor of the red chili paste sauce is so addictive. It's slightly sour, it's super salty, and then kind of spicy too.
Guys,
this is some odang, and for some reason that red chili paste goes really well with the kind of fishy broth that's on that flatfish sheet.
You think they got a good Mexican food
I
selection
couldn't tell you
over
why
there?
they're so satisfying, but it is. It has a great consistency. It's almost like when you open up the fridge and you're like kind of hungry but not super hungry, so you peel off a piece of bologna and eat that alone. It's the fish version of that. Right here we have our second dish. This is called undead. This is a fish pancake made from pollock. Look how gigantic that is. It's like layers and layers of fish pancake. If you come to Busan, you have to get seafood whenever possible, and this is one such situation. Let's go for it. I think frying it on the flat top has firmed it up a bit. It is extremely oily and very heavy. Here, the edges right here. This is more fish and breading together. That's a nice bite right there. This is a food that requires you to take your time a little bit more, because if you go quickly, oh, see, like right here, that is actually a fin sticking out. You got to be careful. You're going to choke to death. I got a bone right here. In Korea, they say, if you're choking on a bone, just eat some rice. It'll push it all down, except for, I don't have any rice here. Right here is our third and final dish. So this is called bibimbap. So if you know bibimbap, it is like a kind of a salad of a number of different things that you mix together with rice. Here, the rice has been replaced with, looking at menu, dangmyeon, a glass noodle. We've got some boiled greens in there, some radish, lots of that red chili paste mixed thoroughly until the color of the noodle changes completely, and then take a bite. Oh Lord, it's very good. The noodles have a great chewy texture to them. It tastes like there's some sesame oil in there because it's smoky inside. There's some mushrooms, there's some vegetables mixed in there, but mainly it's a carb bomb. If you're running a half marathon the next day, this is a great place to carb up. These are some of my favorite types of places in Korea. The food is not separated in some kitchen in the back. Everything is right in your face. The other great thing is if you want to eat something and you're hungry and you just want to go for it, you can just grab a stick of odang like this, take a bite, and they'll charge you when you're done. No big deal.
Damn.
If you're coming to Korea for the first time, you have to come to a place like this, sit down, and just point to what you want. Chances are you're not going to be disappointed. This is stop one. We have a lot more to see. Let's keep moving. So we have come to the actual Bupyeong market, which is wild. It is a bunch of carts in this narrow corridor, and they have a sign up here that says keep to the right. So there's a lot of pressure because you need to kind of keep moving, and if you stop in front of a stall like I'm doing, people might get upset. But I have a job to do. I got to do what I got to do. This is the first cart I saw, and it looks fantastic. This is fried steak cut super thin. First they put it in the flour, then they put it in an egg bath, and then that hits the grill right there. So that is going to cook on each side. They're going to prepare it with some of these greens, and at the end, it's going to look just like that. Fantastic. Guys, let's go eat. Right here is our official first dish of this Bupyeong market. This market is interesting. What are my honest thoughts? This is a fun market for people who love to non-stop make physical contact with other people who they don't know. The only thing making up for it is that this food actually looks pretty unique and pretty delicious. This right here costs 11,000 Korean
that's the
won.
kind of spot you want to visit if
We
you're
have an
just
assortment
kind
of
of touring
vegetables, a small
around.
salad on the side, if you will. But let's just get right into that meat. Cheers.
Damn, bro.
Fatty, juicy, certainly not crispy or anything like that. This is more like an omelet coating a steak. It is very heavy though, and she was being generous with the oil she's putting on there. We'll try some of the vegetables. A typical sweet Korean
Guys, again,
onion
if you're
salad, a
watching
very
me
nice,
on
refreshing
TikTok
combination.
or
It's
on
fun. It's a great
Instagram
start to our
Live, if you're watching me on Instagram, make sure you guys click my bio. This way you guys can
Right here
see
we
the
come to the
videos
fried
that I'm
food
watching.
section. They have 3 distinctly different meats that you can choose from. Right here, this is fried chicken skin. Not even meat, it's just the skin. It looks incredible.
Fried
Then they have 2 more
chicken
seafood selections I want to
that's
try
the
here.
thing.
First
I mean,
of all,
if
this
it's a
is something I've
thing,
seen a lot
you
in
know,
Southeast
when in
Asia,
Rome,
but
when
never in Korea.
you
It's
know,
a
why
crab
not? Just
fried
try it
whole.
out,
You
know,
eat the
I'm
whole
open,
thing, the
I'm
claws,
open.
the legs, the body, everything.
She's
And then
just
here they have
looking at him
coconut
like, bro,
shrimp.
just
Big,
get your food
plump,
and go.
looking absolutely juicy, fine, and thick. I'm not going to eat that here. I'm going to take that, I'm going to leave the chaos and go eat it alone, like I usually do on a Friday night, until I convince someone to marry me. Haha.
You're funny, bro. You're funny.
We have our first food right here. This costs 10,000 Korean won. In USD, it's this much on the screen. Okay, now you got it. This is the coconut shrimp. You can see the coconut on the outside. It looks delicious. Let's try it out.
Coconut shrimp. Oh my god, look at this bad boy.
Oh yeah, delicious. It's got a thick, crunchy coating on the outside. The
God,
wonderful
that looks
taste
so
of coconut. It's greasy, it's heavy. And that seems to be a bit of a theme for the food here so far. Or maybe that's just what I've been attracted to. When I think coconut shrimp, I think like
so he's eating coconut shrimp, but there's no dipping sauce. There's no dipping sauce. Typically, if I'm looking at this, give me some, like, I would have thought it would have been complemented with some coconut, chicken dip or something. But they're eating it just like, maybe that's just how the plate is presented. Either way, I would have ate it with ranch. And that's just the kind of guy that I am.
a tropical location. I think the Caribbean or Jamaica.
Look at
I don't
that
usually think
shrimp,
Busan, South Korea, but maybe
bro.
this is where coconut shrimp was invented. White caps. Right here we have our second fried food. This is the little
like
crabbies. We'll not
this,
make a
like,
joke about crabs.
coconut
We'll not make a joke
for
about
real.
crabs.
We
They
get
look
this
very
artificial
crunchy. I do
coconut.
like how
They are
breaded
not
they look.
getting that.
Sometimes they can fry these and not put any breading, so definitely have been battered a bit. Let me try it out. Oh, it's pretty good. It's so easy to eat. It's like the potato chips of the sea. It's super heavy and greasy, but it almost feels like they stuffed meat into the body of the crab. It doesn't even seem natural. Let me break one of these open for you.
So, for the most part, Korean street food is a lot of fried food. And I typically try to avoid that on the regular day. But obviously, guys, when in Rome, if I'm there visiting in vacation, I'm going to eat everything that they have. But so far, everything that this gentleman has presented, except that first item, everything has been fried food. Fried food. Nothing's wrong with fried food. I'm just saying, I probably, would try to avoid as much fried food as possible.
To see. It's so full of meat. Overall, delicious, 8 out of 10, but it needs a sauce. Even if it had ketchup,
He just said it, guys. He just said it needs sauce. He's so American, dude. He's so American like me, bro. He's probably like, can I get Thousand Island? Can I get ranch? Server, do you have ranch? Ranch for this order. Dude, he's so American. You can't take Americans anywhere, bro. We're gonna ask for a side of fish and chips. More like fish and chips and ranch. Dude, come on, bro. Where's my side of ranch?
It needs something to go with.
I pledge allegiance to the ranch on the side of my fries that I'm eating. And to the server that is serving me, please bring the barbecue sauce while you're at it. Please and thank you.
But the crab meat inside is a very nice touch.
Damn, look at that, the crab meat. Oh my god, that's a bad boy right there, bro.
They have lobster, but they put some kind of artificial crab inside of the lobster. This is a carapace of a crab, and he's put cheese and potentially crab meat inside of there. Right now we're gonna order and then see how it's made. All right, right here you can see the stuffing of the lobster. He puts in some mock crab going inside of real lobster. Then right here we have the crab heads with some crab meat, some cheese,
let me tap my shoes 3 times and take me to Korea. To these food vendors, just for the moment.
More cheese going inside of my crab heads. Putting a load of oil on the grill. He's got his hairspray right here. Yeah, baby. It's like roasting in here, but it feels so good because it's cold outside. I love it.
He's torching that bad boy up, bro.
Okay, so this is food number 7. I'm not sure, I lost count already. Every time you come to Korea and you come to one of these street food streets, you will find some guy with cheese, seafood, and fire. And at last, I have found him. This guy is making something truly unique. So we have all these different parts of the lobster cut in half. Of course, we got one claw, half a tail, half a body, but then there's kind of a weird seafood salad made into the body, stuffed inside of there. He's also created his own sauce, that white sauce. It looked like mayonnaise to me. Then he had a tangy red sauce. He had tons of oil.
Really
he had
right
mounds
there,
of butter. Pretty nice flavor, slightly overcooked, a little tough. To be fair, he did drop a napalm bomb on it from about 50,000 feet. Oh, the tail is even kind of pre-ripped out and cut up. Maybe it cooks faster that way, and maybe it's easier to eat.
That looks so good. Dude, I'm so American. I would be the guy saying, like,
whatever he has in a hairspray bottle, I can taste it. It tastes a little bit like acetylene. By the way, the 13,000 Korean won, which is roughly $10. That's not that bad. Now we have the body. So if you peel it back, these are real eggs from inside the lobster. Then this is that fake crab meat that he's put inside. So we want that combination. Wow, look at that bite. That is an unusual seafood salad. What an odd combination of flavors. The eggs are kind of rubbery, a little fishy. The crab is sweet, of course. And then all of it's just covered in mayonnaise, cheese, sauce. It's oily, it's greasy, but somehow light and delicious. That is an awesome creation. And I think absolutely worth that price. So right here we have the crab head, eyeballs bugging out. Inside, there's meat, there's cheese, there's fake meat, and then even more cheese. And it doesn't even look like all the cheese melted. There's mayonnaise too. And I can't believe this is less than $5 for what we have right here. And it's served
dude,
inside
that
a
is
real animal head.
Bro, I swear to God, here in the States, they would have charged you like a minimum. I'm just gonna say like $10, right? Not even 10 to 15 bucks right there for that crab with everything you got in it, bro. I have been charged more for less.
Once again, I like this guy.
Let the record state, I have been charged more.
It's only 8:30 p.m. This guy is high as a kite already.
No, mommy.
We stumbled upon our next food. We're going strong with the meat, and we've got more meat right here. These are like giant meatball logs covered in bacon. They're spicy and not so spicy. The more you buy, the cheaper it gets. So it's 1 for $4.
The more you buy, the cheaper it gets, ladies and gentlemen. The more you buy, the cheaper it gets.
So he puts on 2 different types of sauce. Then
that's
going to get the torch. Wow, you can see the bacon sizzling on the outside. That is definitely haram. Put that in a little bit of a cup. Then that's going to get cut and quartered. From here, dressing, some mysterious white sauce, and then some greens to go on top. That is complete. Samda. Right here we have a Korean Scotch egg. But what is a Scotch egg? I will tell you from my memory. A Scotch egg is a boiled egg wrapped in sausage meat, coated in breadcrumbs and baked or deep fried. So this is the Korean version of that. There is indeed an egg in the middle. I know because I asked. Then a layer of meat, and then instead of breadcrumbs or anything like that, they put bacon on the outside and they sauce it up like crazy.
On top with some white sauce. That's not even
You would think that the torching would have done more to it, because actually it's very cold. Just moments ago, the bacon was sizzling, and now it's just kind of room temp. But the taste is good. It tastes like way over-seasoned hamburger meat or like a meat loaf around the egg. It's hard to taste the bacon because that sauce is so strong and powerful.
Really but this guy right here,
bro. I like it. I find it to be creative, innovative, and fun. It's a fun take on a classic food from another country. They just did their way with their ingredients and their flavors and an S-load of sauce. Let's keep moving.
I would want to see some
South Korean desserts. As long as we're trying classic food from other countries, let's try what this man has right here. It is Vietnamese bánh made the Korean way. What does that look like? I'm about to find out. The dish starts right here. We have a thick batter peanut sauce going on top. All right, 감사합니다.
does it have another video?
Essentially, he's got pork, he's got shrimp, he's got the rice flour batter, but it's like you typed bonseo into an AI image creator, and then it spat that out.
Damn,
the chopstick.
Really
all right, my first taste of Korean bonseo. Let's try it. It's very crunchy, and from sitting on that griddle, on that flat top, it's gotten a bit smoky too. The sauce on top is what's really sweet. Wow, it's a pool of fish sauce.
Damn,
Actual
Jack,
fish can swim in this. I actually kind of like the flavors. It's crispy. It has like a nice balance of vegetables. There's a ton of pork in there. An irresponsible amount of sauce, but I still like it. Is it just like the Vietnamese bonseo? Not even close. But this man made this his own. Bean sprouts, shrimpies, sauce. The best part is the price for this, less than $5 for this whole dish right here.
That's
and trust
not
me, this
even
is enough calories to last for
here in the
2.5 days.
States,
Awesome
bro. They
adaptation
would
from here. I'm
charge you
gonna
an
tell you which
easy.
street food today was my absolute
They would
favorite.
charge you an easy.
That is the end
15
of
to
the video.
20
Today
bucks
we
for that
tried 10
plate, bro.
different street
They
food.
would
If we
charge
were
you
doing
an
a $100
easy.
challenge, I
I
would've hit that
paid the other
easy.
day
Although I
like
gotta say,
almost
some
20
things did
bucks,
seem pretty reasonable.
and
The
all I
lobster,
got was
not that bad, not that
cinco
expensive. The
tacos
bonseo at
and
the
a
end,
horchata,
super
bro.
reasonable. My favorite food of the day, I think, surprisingly, was the last one, the bonseo. I just thought it was so creative. It was fun. I saw he had a little chart on the side of his cart explaining to Korean people like what bonseo is, what is inside of it. I saw a lot of people curious, wanting to try it, and it's pretty decent. I wish he would use maybe 5 liters less oil. I liked it. Tasted good, and it tasted like someone taking a chance and doing something a little bit different. If you love anxiety, if you love not being able to stop and look at anything, if you like loud drunk people, I recommend coming here to Bluefield Market. Otherwise, guys, that is it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Peace. Oh,
bro,
man,
that is so good, bro. That it was so good. What did you guys think about the food? All the food vendors. So South Korea street food, right off the bat, first thing that came to my mind, a lot of fried food, which would make me feel a little bloated. I didn't see him drink 7-Up once or a Canada Dry. I don't know if that's an American thing. I'd be like, excuse me, do you guys have this? 7-Up, any 7-Up? That would have just been me, guys. That would have just been me. And I would have asked for ranch. I would have asked for ranch a lot of the time, guys, but that's just me. I'm a ranch guy. Yeah, I pledge allegiance to the ranch of the United's hidden ranch of a ranch. But without further ado, guys, let's just get right into it. Yesterday, if you guys watched, we did a movie recap on the Fast and the Furious. One of my favorite things about the Fast and the Furious is that there's so many of them, and you almost feel like you forgot how many there was. So today we are doing a recap on Too Fast, Too Furious with Mr. Ludacris himself. Move, bitch, get out the way, get out the way. If I see you in the highway, you better get the fuck out of my way. Oh my god, bro, we can go. Ludacris was hard. You guys probably don't appreciate Ludacris right now. Ludacris is he's calmed down. He's a family man. I think he's a resident in Africa as well. Ludacris was hard back in the day, bro. He goes, no go, lights out. I'm about to hit this bitches, lights out. Bro, he was the best guy. So without further ado, we're gonna jump right into it. Let's do a quick movie review on the movie Too Fast, Too Furious recap. Remember the first one, Paul Walker was undercover because they were finding out that this crew was robbing these individuals at night for the trucks. The trucks had all these valuables. And Paul Walker built this crew, and he was part of the boys. He became part of the boys. He became best friends with Vin Diesel, and he had the boys, and they were having beer, and they were having carne asada. He had himself a little girl, right? Like a girlfriend. He had himself a girlfriend. And it was like a whole thing, bro. It was like a whole thing. So, and then he had to make the decision where he is forced to apply the laws of which he is working for. So without further ado, guys, let's continue watching Too Fast, Too Furious. I would say he had himself a little girlfriend. Look at that right there.
After letting Dominic Toretto escape from the authorities, former LAPD officer Brian O'Connor flees from Los Angeles to escape prosecution. He subsequently relocates to Miami and makes a living participating in illegal street races, driving a heavily modified silver Nissan Skyline GTR R34.
Skyline
the races are organized by his local
Mr.
mechanic friend
Ludacris right there. Move, bitch.
Tej Parker. After winning a race, the police show up and Brian is arrested. He is taken into custody, but given a deal by his former boss, FBI agent Bilkins, and US Customs agent Markham, to go undercover and bring down Argentinian drug lord Carter Verone in exchange for clearance of his criminal record. Agent Monica Fuentes, who has been undercover with Verone for a year, agrees to assist bringing Brian into the organization. Brian agrees on the condition that he is given permission to choose his own partner. This prompts Brian to travel to Barstow, where he enlists the help of childhood friend Roman Pierce, who served jail.
Roman was a big role in this movie. He helped them out so much. That was like his bad boyfriend right there.
Time for housing stolen cars in a garage, and currently makes a living as a demolition derby driver. Roman, currently on parole, gets into a brief fight and blames Brian for his arrest, but reluctantly agrees to help in exchange for the same deal Brian was offered. For their mission, they are issued 2 confiscated modified cars, a Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 7 and a Mitsubishi Eclipse Spider GTS. Roman and Brian are later hired by Verone, who tasks the duo to compete against rival drivers to obtain a package from a confiscated Ferrari located in a lot. During the race, some of the hired drivers crash, while a few are injured by big rigs. Markham, who mistakenly thinks that the duo is trying to run away, follows them to the lot. The police ambush spooks Roman, who shoots at Markham to help maintain his cover. Roman later confronts the agent for interfering with the mission. Brian is able to salvage the situation, telling Bilkins that Verone is allegedly aiming to launder his money in Miami before escaping.
I forgot about that. I've seen a lot of the Fast and Furious movies like over again, but I haven't seen Too Fast, Too Furious. So the fact that they did all that because they were trying to maintain their cover, and I remember that like they try to give that guy in the back, they try to make him to be Brian's partner, and Brian didn't have it. He's like, nah dude, like that guy, he's gonna get me caught up so quick.
His private jet. Brian and Roman challenge a pair of muscle car drivers they raced when competing for Verone's hiring for pink slips. Despite engine and power output handicaps, they win the race and obtain the rival cars, a 1969 Yenko Camaro SYC and a 1970 Dodge Challenger RT. Roman later confronts Brian about the constant threat of Verone's men. However, they patch up their differences and focus on completing the mission. At the VIP section of a nightclub, Brian and Roman witness Verone torturing MPD Detective Whitworth into giving his men a window of opportunity to make their getaway. The next morning, Monica warns them that they will be killed once the drop is made. Despite this, Markham refuses to call off the job, claiming that it is their one chance to catch Verone. On the day of the mission, Brian and Roman begin transporting duffel bags of Verone's money with Verone's associates, Enrique and Roberto, riding alongside to accompany them. Before the window is set, Whitworth decides to call in the police to move in for an arrest of the drivers of the cars used by Brian and Roman. This results in a high-speed chase across the city, with Bilkins and US Customs also tracking them. The duo leads the police to a warehouse, where a scramble by dozens of street racers organized by Tej disorients the police. Following the scramble, the police managed to pull over the Evo and the Eclipse, only to find out that they were driven by Tej and Suki. As it turns out, the duo had switched cars and had escaped in the 2 muscle.
Told him, dude, I forgot about the scramble that it had happened. That was pretty cool. There's just the fact that you have to just appreciate these movies. Like I always say from the very beginning, I love the extraness. I love that they do all this, like, you know, wild fucking shit. Like, bro, take me away from reality, bro. I pay bills, I pay taxes, bro. Like, escape, help me escape. Like, entertain me. That's what I always say.
Cars they had won earlier. As Brian approaches the destination point in his Camaro, Enrique tells him to take the Tarpon Point Marina exit instead of heading to the airfield. Meanwhile, Roman gets rid of Roberto by using an improvised ejector seat in his Challenger, powered by nitrous oxide. At the airfield, customs agents have Verone's plane and convoy surrounded. only to discover they have been duped into a decoy maneuver while Verone is at a boatyard several miles away. Verone reveals he knew Monica was an undercover agent and purposely gave her wrong information on the destination point. When Brian arrives at the marina, Verone forces Monica onto his private yacht and orders Enrique to kill Brian. As Enrique prepares to kill him, Brian's ejector seat fails, but Roman suddenly appears and helps Brian to incapacitate Enrique. Verone makes his escape, but Brian and Roman use the Camaro to drive off a ramp, crashing on top of the yacht. Brian shoots and wounds Verone, who is then arrested by Monica. Markham grants Brian and Roman full pardons, and in return, Roman turns over the second half of Verone's money. The two agree to stay in Miami, and Brian suggests opening a garage funded by a cut of Verone's money Roman kept for themselves.
But that's not enough to really open up a garage, guys. But that was the recap, guys. That was the recap. I love doing these recaps with you guys. All that stuff. I think that's really cool. So that was that recap right there. So we're gonna go right into our second video, or our next video, our next segment, since we just did a movie recap. And I'm always gonna do a movie recap, a show recap, a season recap. I'm always gonna do some of that just to really just kind of keep that new thing. Movies that I like, shows that I like. You guys are hanging out with me. We're hanging out right now, guys. So make sure you guys just let me know which movies, which shows you guys want to watch next, which recaps you want. If there's a particular video you want, let me know. We'll do it together. We're hanging out together, guys. So the next one that we're about to do right now, it is the next generation of the greatest era in WWE history. Ladies and gentlemen, this is for my boy audience, okay? If you're a lady and if you do not like wrestling, and if you did not like wrestling, and if your big brother did not do wrestling moves on you, then I do not know what to tell you, because right now this is a recap on the greatest generation of wrestling there was. We're gonna do a quick recap, guys, on this. Let's see what's up, misters, because you know why? Because Stone Cold Steve Austin said so.
Wrestling company in the world for decades. But from 1997 to 2005, the WWE experienced its hottest and most popular period ever. This was the era that gave us Stone Cold stunning his boss, The Rock electrifying millions, Kane giving everyone nightmares, and The Undertaker's streak becoming sacred. We watched names like John Cena, Batista, and Brock Lesnar burst onto the scene, and we also mourned as Owen Hart and Eddie Guerrero were taken too soon. We had Jeff Hardy jumping off insane heights, Edge stealing girlfriends, Shawn Michaels stealing the show, Chris Jericho being cool, and Triple H dominating Raw with his reign of terror. Over these 9 years, we witnessed the birth of legends, the fall of empires, and moments that took WWE from the brink of bankruptcy to a mainstream juggernaut. So today, we're rewinding the clock and revisiting the hottest period in WWE history. This is the story of WWE's greatest era, starting with the year it all began, 1997. As 1997 began, WWE was in serious trouble. WCW was destroying them in the ratings every single week, and the company was dangerously close to going bankrupt.
On them. If you guys don't know, WCW, Nitro Monday, all that stuff, they had gotten a lot of the wrestlers from WWE, which was actually called WWF, but they made them change that name. I think it was the World Wildlife Foundation, I think it was. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. But they made them change their name to WWE, and WCW really took over. WCW made a big difference, and they had all of the haymakers, all of the big names for WWF. They ported them over because they gave them different pay or whatever. They said, dude, we're gonna give you the limelight, we're gonna give you the main attraction, the fights. They got Hulk Hogan, they got Randy Savage, they got Macho Man, they got the Big Show, which they called him the Giant. They had a Goldberg, guys. That was
but what looked like WWE's darkest hour would ultimately become the catalyst for its biggest transformation. The year started with Shawn Michaels as WWF champion, but everything changed when an injury forced him to vacate the title. Behind the scenes, many believed this was HBK's way of avoiding a scheduled title loss to his rival Bret Hart at WrestleMania. And this rivalry set the tone for a year filled with real-life drama that'd lead to the most controversial finish in wrestling history later in the year. Meanwhile, a certain redneck named Steve Austin was supposed to be a villain, but fans were connecting with his anti-authority persona in ways WWE hadn't anticipated. At the Royal Rumble, Austin won the match by sneaking back in after Bret Hart eliminated him. Commissioner Gorilla Monsoon refused to give Austin his WrestleMania title shot, instead booking him in a fatal four-way for the vacated title. Bret Hart won the title, but Austin would cost him just days later. Then came WrestleMania 13, and the match that changed everything. Austin and Bret Hart delivered one of the greatest Mania matches of all time. But more importantly, it featured the legendary double turn. The image of a bloodied Austin refusing to give up turned him into a hero. Meanwhile, Bret attacked Austin after the bell, completing his transformation into a villain. Austin would continue raising hell and feuding against the Hart Foundation until a botched piledriver at SummerSlam almost ended his career. But 1997 had more shocks in store. Paul Bearer revealed that The Undertaker's brother Kane was still alive. Kane debuted at the first ever Hell in a Cell match at Bad Blood, ripping the cage door off to lay out his brother. This kick-started the most iconic supernatural feud in WWE history that had become a part of mainstream culture. But while Kane and Taker engaged in their personal war, a bigger controversy was about to shake the WWF. WWF champion Bret Hart was leaving for WCW and refused to lose the championship to a recently returned Shawn Michaels in Canada, given their history of real-life hatred. Not wanting to risk his company's champion appearing on WCW with the top prize, Vince McMahon and a select few orchestrated the Montreal Screwjob, which would go down as the most controversial finish in pro wrestling history. Vince had the referee call for the bell while Bret was in the sharpshooter, making it appear that Bret had submitted. Michaels and DX quickly rushed backstage, while fans threw garbage in the ring and Bret spat at Vince. The night after, Vince did a sit-down interview sporting a black eye from Bret, telling the world Bret screwed Bret. The Mr. McMahon character, wrestling's greatest villain, was born, and the pieces were in place for the biggest rivalry in WWE history.
Dude, Bret Hart was such a
If
big
1997
part of
laid the
WWE
foundation,
history.
1998 was the year WWE's revolution went mainstream. The Austin versus McMahon rivalry became the hottest storyline in professional
That was
wrestling,
such a big
finally
thing.
giving fans a reason to switch from WCW Nitro to Monday Night Raw. The year started explosively at the Royal Rumble when Stone Cold won the match, earning a WrestleMania title shot. But the moment everyone remembers came the next night on Raw. Mike Tyson, the baddest man on the planet, appeared to announce his involvement as special enforcer for the WrestleMania main event. Austin marched down, got in Tyson's face, flipped him off, and sparked a brawl that had to be broken up by dozens of security guards. The segment brought massive mainstream attention to WWE, and suddenly everyone was talking about wrestling again. At WrestleMania 14, in a shocking twist, Tyson revealed he was aligned with Austin rather than DX, raising Stone Cold's hand as the new champion. The Austin era had officially begun, and the boss wasn't happy. Throughout the spring and summer, McMahon tried everything to take the title from Austin. But the more McMahon tried to destroy him, the more popular Austin became. Meanwhile, The Undertaker and Kane's supernatural saga dominated the other half of the main event scene. Kane had cost Undertaker the championship at the Royal Rumble by setting his casket on fire. But the dead man returned just in time for WrestleMania and got his revenge. McMahon eventually weaponized their hatred, pointing both brothers at Austin. At King of the Ring in June, Kane actually won the WWF Championship, though Austin recaptured it the very next night on Raw. The night also saw Undertaker throw Mankind off the top of the Hell in a Cell in one of the most replayed moments in pro wrestling history. However, the biggest story of 1998 came at Survivor Series. The Austin-Kane-Taker saga had eventually led to the WWF title being vacated, and the Deadly Game tournament was held to crown a new champion, with the finals pitting The Rock against Mankind. Earlier in the night, Shane McMahon revealed he'd been aligned with his father all along, screwing Austin out of the tournament. But then came the massive swerve. The Rock turned on Mankind and aligned with Vince McMahon, becoming the corporate champion. The People's Champion had become the most hated man in WWE, declaring he didn't sell out, he bought in. By year's end, WWE had finally turned the tide in the Monday Night Wars. The Rock had transformed from hated babyface to electrifying heel. Kane, Mankind, and Taker had cemented themselves as major players in the main event scene. Vince and Shane became the most hated father-son duo in wrestling, and Austin was poised for revenge against The Rock and the McMahons. The momentum from 1998 carried into 1999, but this would become known as the Attitude Era's messiest and most controversial year. It started strong when Mankind defeated The Rock for the WWF Championship on the January 4th episode of Raw. WCW spoiled the result on Nitro, hoping fans would stay with their show. But the tactic backfired and a huge portion of Nitro's audience switched channels to watch Mick Foley's crowning moment. At the Royal Rumble, The Rock defeated Mankind in a brutally controversial I Quit match that featured an obscene number of chair shots. Then came the Rumble match, with Austin and Vince entering as the first two competitors.
Damn,
Austin got beat up by the corporation and taken to a hospital during the match, only to return in an ambulance and unleash chaos. However, a distraction from The Rock allowed Vince to eliminate Austin and win the Rumble to earn a title shot against The Rock at WrestleMania. Vince forfeited his WrestleMania opportunity the next night, and WWF Commissioner Shawn Michaels immediately awarded it to the runner-up Steve Austin instead. The build-up to this match also saw the WWF debut of The Big Show, who would become one of the most recognized wrestlers of all time. Austin defeated The Rock for the title at WrestleMania 15, and the power struggle between Austin and McMahon escalated when Linda and Stephanie gave their WWF stock to Stone Cold, making him company CEO.
No way.
April brought another shocking development when Shane McMahon merged his father's corporation with The Undertaker's Ministry of Darkness, creating the corporate ministry. The ministry kidnapped Stephanie McMahon, and for months, WWE teased that a mysterious higher power was pulling the strings. The reveal finally came in June that it was Vince McMahon all along, and Vince and Shane eventually won back control over WWF from Austin in a ladder match at King of the Ring. But then came May 23rd, a date that would haunt WWE forever.
Guys, again, if you guys
at the
are
Over the Edge pay-per-view, Owen Hart fell from the rafters during his entrance and died in the ring. This would go down as one of the darkest days in pro wrestling history, and WWE's decision to continue the show after the accident drew massive criticism. Despite the darkness, 1999 did introduce two future legends.
This for you, bro.
Chris Jericho debuted from WCW in August with massive fanfare. Then in November, Kurt Angle made his WWE debut at Survivor Series, beginning what would become one of the greatest rookie years in wrestling history. At SummerSlam, Mankind shockingly defeated Austin for the WWF Championship, only to drop it to Triple H the next night on Raw. The year ended with the McMahon-Helmsley era beginning when Triple H defeated Vince McMahon at Armageddon. It was revealed that Stephanie had been working with Triple H all along, willingly marrying him as revenge for her father's actions earlier in the year. The real-life couple would become a power force both on and off-screen for years to come. But as 1999 came to a close, all the pieces were in place for what many consider the greatest year in WWE history. With Stone Cold sidelined for neck surgery, many wondered if WWE could maintain its momentum without their biggest star. The answer came in the form of The Rock, who finally stepped out of Austin's shadow to prove he could carry the company as its top babyface. The Great One won the Royal Rumble in January, setting up his WrestleMania main event and beginning a year where he would headline an astounding 10 out of 12 pay-per-views. But 2000 wasn't just about The Rock's ascension. It was the year WWE's roster depth reached unprecedented levels. In January, Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero, Dean Malenko, and Perry Saturn jumped ship from WCW as The Radicals, immediately elevating the in-ring quality across the board. However, no talent proved himself faster than Kurt Angle. The Olympic gold medalist's rookie year was nothing short of extraordinary. His arrogant all-American hero character was perfect heel work, and his amateur wrestling background gave him a unique style that meshed perfectly with sports entertainment. By October, Angle had captured the WWE Championship, completing a journey from Olympic rookie to world champion in less than a year. The tag team division reached heights that have arguably never been matched. Edge and Christian, the Hardy Boys, and the Dudley Boys completely redefined what tag team wrestling could be. Their triangle ladder match at WrestleMania 2000 was just the beginning. At SummerSlam, they delivered the first ever tables, ladders, and chairs match, a chaotic masterpiece that transformed tag wrestling from bathroom breaks to must-see TV. The main event of WrestleMania 2000 saw Triple H retain the WWE Championship in a fatal four-way against The Rock, Big Show, and Mick Foley. A McMahon in every corner creating maximum drama. Stone Cold returned at Backlash to a thunderous reaction, immediately inserting himself back into the main event scene. But the year wouldn't be complete without some absurd storylines. The Austin mystery attacker angle culminated with Rikishi taking credit before it was revealed Triple H had orchestrated everything. Meanwhile, the love triangle between Triple H and WWE had won. WCW's invasion began in May with Lance Storm interfering in a match, followed by Diamond Dallas Page and Booker T. But there was a massive problem. WWE refused to buy out the guaranteed contracts of WCW's biggest stars like Goldberg, Sting, and the NWO, meaning the invasion was led by mid-carders. To boost the angle, ECW was revived and merged with WCW to form the Alliance, with Stephanie McMahon becoming ECW's owner. At the Invasion pay-per-view in July, Steve Austin shockingly turned heel again, joining the alliance despite it making no storyline sense. The angle that should have been a home run was failing because fans couldn't buy the alliance as a legitimate threat without the big-name WCW stars. The Invasion mercifully ended at Survivor Series in November with Team WWE defeating Team Alliance in a winner-takes-all match. Kurt Angle revealed himself as a double agent, screwing Austin and giving The Rock the victory. But 2001 had one last major moment. At Vengeance in December, Chris Jericho defeated both The Rock and Steve Austin on the same night to become the first-ever undisputed champion. 2001 was a year of missed opportunities, shocking turns, and new arrivals. The year marked the end of the Attitude Era, and a more ruthless and aggressive chapter was about to begin. After losing a legal battle with the World Wildlife Fund, the World Wrestling Federation officially became World Wrestling Entertainment. The company literally had to get the F out, and WWF became WWE. But the name change was just one of many massive shifts in 2002. After the arrival of WCW and ECW stars, the roster had become so bloated that WWE implemented a brand split, dividing talent between Raw and SmackDown as separate shows with their own champions and storylines. By September, there were 2 world titles: the WWE Championship on SmackDown and the newly created World Heavyweight Championship on Raw, which Eric Bischoff simply handed to Triple H without a tournament. The year saw the WWE debut of the NWO, who initially debuted as heels, but fans simply refused to boo Hogan, who returned to the company after almost a decade. Hogan turned babyface within 30 days, and at WrestleMania 18, his match with The Rock had the crowd like Kurt Angle, Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero, and the rising John Cena offered hope for the future. With the pieces in place, the year 2004 would bring 2 of the most emotional and inspiring stories in WWE history, and one of its most disappointing matches. At the Royal Rumble, Chris Benoit entered at number 1 and lasted over an hour to win the match, defying all odds. But the bigger story came at No Way Out on the SmackDown side, where Eddie Guerrero challenged Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship. Eddie had overcome drug addiction, rebuilt his life, and worked his way back to the main event. Few expected him to actually win. WrestleMania was just a month away, and Lesnar was rumored to be facing Goldberg. But after battling the Beast for nearly 30 minutes, Eddie hit the frog splash, got the pin, and became WWE Champion in one of the most emotional moments WWE has ever produced. Then came WrestleMania 20 at Madison Square Garden. Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg should have been a dream match, but word had leaked that both men were leaving WWE. Lesnar was tired of the brutal travel schedule, and Goldberg's contract was expiring. The Madison Square Garden crowd booed both men mercilessly throughout the entire match. Both looked miserable and put in minimal effort, creating one of the most awkward WrestleMania matches ever. However, that didn't stop the show from being iconic. The Undertaker returned as the Dead Man after years as the biker character, defeating Kane to extend his streak. John Cena defeated Mick Foley in a legendary hardcore match at Backlash. At SummerSlam, the 24-year-old Orton defeated Benoit to become the youngest world heavyweight champion in WWE history. But the very next night, Triple H kicked him out of Evolution, furious that his protege had surpassed him. At Unforgiven, the Game defeated Orton to reclaim the title after just 28 days, and the reign of terror continued. On the SmackDown side, John Cena continued his rise with the US title, while JBL transformed from a mid-carder into a cowboy champion and feuded with Eddie Guerrero and The Undertaker. In other notable moments, Undertaker buried Paul Bearer in cement. Heidenreich did some questionable things to Michael Cole. Kurt Angle got chokeslammed off a balcony, and Kane and Lita had one of the most violent weddings in history. But as 2004 came to an end, WWE was ready for its hottest year since 2000. The year 2005 marked a generational shift in WWE. After years of dominance, Triple H's reign of terror was finally about to end, but not before one championship, beginning his journey to becoming the face of WWE for the next 15 years. And after over 2 years of Triple H's reign of terror holding Raw hostage, Batista defeated the Game to win the World Heavyweight Championship, culminated in a series of matches at SummerSlam, Unforgiven, and Raw, with Edge winning the majority of them. In the end, Hardy lost a Loser Leaves Raw ladder match and was sent to SmackDown. Edge and Lita remained together on Raw, and their real-life relationship gave rise to one of the most hated couples in WWE history. Meanwhile, on SmackDown, Rey Mysterio and Eddie Shawn Michaels made a mockery of Hulk Hogan, overselling every single move in comically exaggerated fashion to protest Hogan's backstage politicking. Though Hogan got the win, HBK was the real winner in fans' eyes. But then, the year took a tragic turn on November 13th when Eddie Guerrero died from a heart attack. WWE dedicated special tribute episodes of Raw and SmackDown to Latino heat, allowing everyone to grieve the loss of one of wrestling's most beloved figures. The year ended with Batista solidified as SmackDown's top star and John Cena continuing to divide audiences. Triple H had finally been dethroned, Randy Orton was establishing himself as a main event player, and Edge was lurking with his Money in the Bank briefcase, waiting for the perfect moment to strike.
And then
the greatest era of WWE was coming to a close, but it had accomplished its mission of creating the next generation of superstars who would carry the company for years to come. From 1997 to 2005, WWE transformed from a struggling company on the verge of bankruptcy into a mainstream entertainment juggernaut. Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, The Undertaker, Mick Foley, Chris Jericho, Kurt Angle, Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit, John Cena, Batista, and Randy Orton all left their marks on this incredible period. Some moments were magical, others tragic, but together they created the greatest era professional wrestling has ever seen. A time that will never be forgotten and can never be replicated.
That's so cool, guys. Man, that's like the whole stuff on WWE was really cool. All right, guys, so we're probably just gonna jump over to the next thing right now. So I had one more video planned out for you guys, but we're probably just gonna jump right into Call of Duty just to start getting some gameplay, because that always takes a while, especially because your boy does not die, bro. Your boy cannot die on the zombies aspects. Okay, so we're gonna get right into it. So we'll be playing a lot of the video games. A lot of the times towards the end of the stream, that's usually how I wrap up the stream, is usually I just start getting into some video games and just having some fun with you guys. You know, if you guys want to join and play, let me know your tag, let me know if you play, things like that. We're just gonna get right into it. But that was really cool. So what did we watch so far? So the first video was about the 80s recap, a lot of stuff that we don't do nowadays. Second one was the, what do you call it, the Korean street food. Then we did Fast and the Furious recap. That was a cool one. The Fast and the Furious recap, that was a really good one. Then we did the WWE. I'm gonna be doing a lot of wrestling things. Wrestling was such a big thing in my life growing up that I'm like, dude, of course I'm gonna be doing a recap on wrestling and everything that I do right there. So that's just kind of like, you know, what I be doing, you know. So without further ado, why don't we just get into it? It's connecting to the server. So right now we're just gonna get into some Call of Duty, guys, just playing in some games. You saw the videos, so I'm really big on zombies on it, guys. So why don't we switch screens right now just so you guys can see it. Oh, you guys can't even see it, guys. My bad. Gameplay, we're gonna be doing, it is perfect. And we're going to be joining a public match. Now, when you do a public match, it's really cool. Hold on, we're going to go to the Doctor's Factory. Okay. Yes. Okay, these are really good, guys. These are really good, okay? The Doctor, bro, he's the best, bro. Let's keep it going. Keep it going. We're going to keep them all going. So with a Doctor, you go right here, you get the gums, and then the gums, they always give you some perks. When you do the perks, when you do the games, they make it really easy for you. So we're going to be doing a lot of them right now. Just keep doing a lot. People on the stairs, that's always really cool. We're probably just going to do about 5 more or less, just to kind of keep it going, just so we can get straight into the gameplay. But like I say, guys, we do a lot of recaps on movies, shows, some street food, a lot of food stuff here. That's what we do. And then we do like a video of the day, something like wrestling. I'm really big on wrestling. I love wrestling. I grew up with wrestling. Me and my friends used to play wrestling. I was the kid in the bounce house growing up that would always wrestle. That was always my thing. Okay, so we're gonna join public. No. Leave lobby, and then we're gonna do a So here we go. Activate immediately. Last 2 hits. The next time you take melee damage, nearby zombie bursts into flames. That's pretty cool. Why don't we see this one? It says automatic when melee attacks. I don't want the melee attacks. You know what? We didn't really get good guns here, so let's just get right into it. Join public game. We're gonna do Kino. You can never go wrong with the Kino map, guys. We're gonna wait up a little bit. Let's wait for more people to join on our Kino map, guys. If you guys are doing zombies, just let me know. We could get a game together. Waiting for more people to join the game. You always got to give it a second for a little bit just so the game can start. It's really cool when you play online with the zombies because they'll have like gum perks. They'll have their own things that really bring the game to life, like fire cell or some nukes. I play with people online and they have all these perks. It makes such a big difference playing with them, guys. I'm telling you, it makes such a big difference. So let's see what's up. Look at that. We're getting more people in the mix already. Perfect. We got our 4. We have our 4 right. Oh, we got 3. We got 3. All right, let's see what's up. Let's see what's up. Remember, guys, if you're watching us on TikTok or Instagram Live, please click the link in my bio and I'll take you to my clips, take you to my stream, and then you guys can even see my stream and what I'm playing, what I'm watching. You guys can be part of the mix. Just waiting for people. That's always like the big thing here. It's this guy, Neiman, bro. Neiman is a fucking piece of shit, and he's not readying up, bro. Neiman, if you're a bot, get the fuck out of here, bro. Neiman, hurry the fuck up, bro. I have officially readied up, and Neiman is not hurrying up, bro. We're gonna leave it and then we're gonna do it again. Fuck, it's Neiman again. It doesn't look like Kino's gonna be a good map tonight, guys, so we will change it to Shino. There's not so many players on Shino right now. Alright, this dude left already. Kino's a very popular map, guys. Kino's a very popular map. Alright, the crew's there, guys. We're gonna rock and roll. This is the really cool part when you play with people online. They have all these perks and it really escalates the game. So, wish me luck, guys. Wish me luck. Wish me luck.
There is no power. How suspicious. Or obvious.
There it is. Dude, when you play with people online, bro, they're just so quick with it. They're so quick with it. Alright, here we go. We're already active. Bro, I'm telling you, they just keep it going here. They don't stop. They don't stop.
That stripper must have stolen my money.
Keeping it pushing. We're keeping it pushing right here. Remember, guys, if you're watching me on Instagram, make sure to click my link on my bio and I'll take you to my gameplay, take you to my stream, and we can hang out for the night. The box? I had no idea the box was here. Oh, there's a fire cell. Fuck, well, why
A
not?
pity they won't feel their sorrows. Oh, it's so light and deadly! Points.
Very nice.
I am
very
paid
nice.
for pain.
I got a bazooka right now. Not that I think the bazooka will be very good, but you know, hey. No way, bro. Do not tell me that that bazooka didn't do anything, bro. That would suck.
Ammo to the max, yeah?
Dude, the bazooka does really not do anything. Bro, you're fucking me up, bro. You're taking all the boxes, bro. Why would you do that, you fucking piece of shit, bro?
Fire sweetness.
Oh, this is a good
Oh,
gun.
the slaughter I will have!
Okay, there we go.
Yes! She sounds like a sweet little specimen.
Ooh, that's
I
a
like
good
the funny
gun
noise
right there.
it makes.
Let's see if we can get the ray gun or something strong. Nah, we're not gonna get no bazooka again. 100% not getting no bazooka. It's only round 3. That's crazy. We feel like we've been at it for a minute already. Let's go, bro. Round 4. Let's jump it up. Okay, bump it up, bro. Bump it up. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Chop me up, my boy. Chop me up, my boy. And they're right there with me. So see, like, that's so cool right there, because you're playing with people online.
Insta-kill. Man up, zombies! It's time to die.
Oh, I don't have enough for the juggernaut. I don't need juggernaut, honestly, but what the fuck does that even mean? Migrating host. Come on, chat. What does that even mean? All right. I don't know what the fuck that was about. There's only 2 of us here now. And where's the box, my boy? I thought you turned on the power. It's like getting weird. See, that's the trippy part, is where the fuck is the box?
Oh, it just went splat!
Okay, here we go. We're going. Where's the box, though? No.
It will be a pleasure to deal this much pain.
I just had that gun. Why would they give me the same exact thing that I just had?
Fetch me their soul.
Fetch me their
Have no fear,
souls.
the doctor is present.
Here we go, guys. Here we go.
Yeah, one to the head for me.
Oh, bro, I'm cooking up here, bro. I'm cooking up. sad song.
You'll have no more head.
All right, here we go, guys. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, something's acting funny with this, bro. It's like I cannot. The game is like glitching out because
Stay below me, Hunderverse!
Get Juggernaut. Oh, I can't get Juggernaut. Fast run right there. It's a fast run. He's a fast boy. He a runner, he attracts
I want to get closer to embrace their pain. Now there is pus everywhere.
Boom, 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 boom. Just like that. Just like that.
The life has been drained from that one.
Bruh.
That dreadful little girl continues to make my life difficult.
It's not even funny, bro. Bring them, bro. Bring the poopies. Bro, fuck them dogs, bro.
What have you done to the poor puppies?
Chad, is this one good? I'm gonna probably trade this one for it.
Such a beautiful tool of death. So much blood.
The longer it takes to reload, the stronger the gun is.
I get paid double for my effort. Ah, you must be punished. You're dirty. Dirty.
What? Music go hard though. Thank you, my boy. Thank you. Oh, he picked me up. That's a trooper right there, ladies and gentlemen.
This is good for taking names.
Yes, she sounds like a sweet little specimen.
See, this gun is the heavy duty one. This is our heavy duty one. Drinking the Cola, drinking that Cola. Look at me, I'm so fast. I'm so fast. This guy knows what's up right now. This guy knows what's up with this map.
They are held outside for a little while now.
Gotta get some more rounds. I should get twice the points for that shot.
Dempsey, you marrow
Oh,
sucking.
brother, we're doing good, man. We're doing good. Ooh, you're doing good, brother. It's good to hear, brother. Where are you from? Where are you watching us? Upgrade. We need to upgrade, 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 upgrade. My boy. We need to upgrade. Yo, let's go upgrade. Let's go upgrade. Bro, come on, bro.
I am down.
I was trying to upgrade. Bro, if you don't pick me up right now, it's just upsetting because we got no communication as a team and I'm over here. Bro, it's gonna be tough for you to get me right now, my boy. Damn, that looks crazy, my boy. That looks crazy. I was trying to upgrade and I was trying to communicate with you to let's go up. You're not gonna get me, bro. I do not think you're gonna get me. Stream. Chat, I don't even want you. Let's switch screens right now. Chat, I'm not even gonna let you guys see that because this is a little bit too devastating to even witness. Oh, my boy. Fuck. Chat, this was a pleasure. I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with me today. I enjoyed hanging out with you guys. Everybody, you know, just be right here. Shout out to people watching us from Houston, Texas. This was a good one, but pleasure, everybody. Appreciate everybody for watching, for tuning in, just for even being part of the mix. I think it was really cool. I always have fun doing these things. I take it as a hangout session that you guys are hanging out with me and I'm hanging out with you guys. Your feedback is always amazing and I love when you guys do that.